tires. And we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
Life can throw a lot at us, but what helps us through it is knowing we have a place where we feel loved, grounded, and safe. A place where we belong. A place called home. But for thousands of youth living on the streets, there's no such thing as home. Out here, it's a predatory world that can destroy lives forever. At Covenant House, we care for homeless and at-risk youth, working in communities just like yours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here, these kids will get a shower, clean clothes, nourishing meals, and a safe place to sleep. Our caring staff teach life skills, offer stability, and encourage kids to believe in themselves so they stay off the streets for good. We're committed to giving lost, scared, and hurting children a place to go, a place to call home. To help or get help, go to safeplacetosleep.org.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271 WFIEL Juport. It's time for the Afternoon
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Wow. Right now. Opinionated and unfiltered. The hot takes, the rants, and the sports talk you crave.
Give it to me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
.3 in Panama City, 101.9 on the Forgotten Coast in Port St. Joe. Again, ESPN Northwest Florida. We are your home for the Atlanta Braves, and the Braves did win Game 1 of their doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers today, 10-7, and the second game is underway right now. We'll get to an update here in just a few short moments, but I'm David Hayes along with Kyle Wright and Dew Yorman, and we're just having a great day here Well, no, I'm not going to give away our location today because it's another one of those instances where we're in a different part of the building. We could let Drew talk for 20 minutes on where it is that we're at today.
Well, first of all, I took a left into Pier Park.
But
first of all, I was born. It was a nice sunny day in February.
But no, we're out here at Dave & Buster's Pier Park. We're not on the patio today, but we will give away a $10 Dave & Buster's power card if you come find us where we are at today. We'll hook you up with a $10 power card, which is actually worth $20 if you utilize it on a Wednesday. Because what is Wednesdays at Dave & Buster's, Mr. Kyle?
Oh, we call this Wet Wednesday, if you will.
Waney Wednesday.
Waney Wednesday. Yeah, no, it's half-price games. What do we, half-price cocktails?
Half-price cocktails from 4 to 7 p.m. So, happy hour has just gotten underway. Also, we did try a new appetizer today, which Dew was not privy to. But the shrimp Creole chips and dip. It's like a little dip. That is one of the best appetizers that we've had since we've been here. It almost tastes like, and this is weird when you're eating a shrimp Creole dip, but it almost tastes like those Tostitos pizzas that you put in the microwave.
It's crazy because like the rest of it is like a perfect shrimp Creole dip, and it's just the bread, like the breadcrumb topping that's on top that tastes so that tastes so much like your childhood.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I would definitely recommend trying it. Also, I love standing up like this. I feel like my energy's there, and I'm ready to hammer down some go-to-goes. I'm ready to talk about the Reds being 2.5 out. Ready to talk about the Reds sweeping the Astros this weekend. I'm fired up, David Hayes.
There we go, man. So we got a little Pat McAfee out of Kyle Wright today.
I see why he stands.
Yeah, no doubt. It is such a totally different feeling when you're standing up rather than when you're sitting down. I mean, a lot of the time when I'm running the board for Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive, I'm standing up, and obviously I'm not sitting there talking the whole time or anything, really not talking a whole lot on that show, but it is a different energy. It is a different flow. But Kyle did mention the GOAT of GOATs, so we've got our bracket completely finished, and we've got have we sent them out yet? Have we sent out our first round? We've got all of those typed up. We're going to be using a Google Forms type application, and everyone's going to be able to vote. I don't think we have any more parameters to figure out, so it's basically going to be each week from here on out. We'll be getting down to the nitty gritty and seeing and giving everyone a whole entire week. So we're going to put it out today, and then that means everyone's got until next Wednesday at say 3:00 to vote, and then we'll come up with the results. And if we have any ties, we'll break the ties right on here, because I was thinking, like, should we give our answers today? But I think that would be maybe a better segment for next week, but we'll figure it out. You guys know, especially if you listen to us on an everyday basis, you never know what's going to happen, especially not spend all this time planning and trying and preparing. But at the end of the day, man, we're going to go with the hottest direction that we can. At 4:40, we're going to dive into a little deeper into Major League Baseball, give you another Braves update. I'm sure that we'll be giving plenty of those throughout the afternoon today, because they are playing right now. Actually, they've moved that back. It was supposed to start at 3:40, but they've moved the second game to 4:05, so that'll be starting here in just a few short moments. We will not have them on the air today, but we will have the game tomorrow night. Colorado Rockies, Atlanta Braves in Atlanta. First pitch 6:20, and the coverage will start tomorrow night at 6:00. 5:00 as always on Wednesdays. We're going to play a little Would You Rather. 5:20, we're going to give our top 5 games here at Dave & Buster's, a little start bench cut. Terry Ross had tagged me on Facebook for this particular question. Which team, or would you make this trade? Which I don't like looking at it this way. For me, it's more or less which team would you rather have, and we're talking about teams of threes here. So Jordan, KD, and Larry Bird,
right,
versus Steph, Kobe, and LeBron. That would be a wild, that'll be a fun conversation to have today at 5:20. Then we'll wrap up the afternoon today with our local segment. Again, it's the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's start with the A's boycott last night, man. Kyle, what'd you take away from the Athletics boycott last night? And we'll get into their 7-game win streak, but I love the stand of solidarity from the Oakland A's fans last night.
Yeah, so you pulled up an article earlier, so I hate to steal the thunder on this. So Dave pulled up the article. This is a team that literally 4 years ago broke an MLB record for attendance during a wild card playoff game against the Tampa Bay Rays.
2019, yes, sir.
Another small market team. What was it, like 54,000 people?
54,005, yep.
And, this is just what has happened with baseball in such a negative aspect, man. I think that what happens is some of these owners, they hear people talking about small market teams can't compete, and then you've got owners like the Rays who say, well, watch us. Owners like the Orioles who say, well, watch us. And then you got owners like the Oakland A's and even really the Cincinnati Reds. I think they're just playing over their heads right now, but like the Oakland A's their owners said, okay, well, we're a small market team, screw it.
Yeah.
Well, we suck. We're always going to suck. They developed that bad mentality, and what that does is that frustrates fans.
Yeah.
Fans don't want to go to that. If the owner doesn't care, why should the fans care?
Why, if we know that you're going to Vegas, outside of the ones who are going to want to go see at least one more game at the Coliseum and all of that good stuff, but if you're, if it's the Atlanta Braves, we're talking about the Atlanta Braves, right? And the Braves are leaving. They're going somewhere else. They're going back to Milwaukee, which obviously doesn't make sense. So let's say they're going, back to New Mexico or something Montreal. Like that. Yeah. All right. So they're going somewhere where it's not going to be very easy for me to go see them. Why am I going to? Of course, I'm going to try to make one more trip, but that's really just for the stadium, the experience. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I'm going to follow the Braves anymore, especially if it's not just a relocation thing, but it's for the last 5 years, we're struggling and we're not even doing anything except for trading off the talent that we've built up and giving that off to other teams. And then after 4 or 5 years of struggling like that as a fan, now we're going to move and we're going to go to a city. Well, even though that it's California, Las Vegas, that's still a pretty good trek from Oakland to Las Vegas.
No, absolutely. But you take this situation and the fans are frustrated, man. And then now all of a sudden we're going to move to Vegas. We're going to Vegas. And these Oakland fans, they're so passionate. This is like, you talk about baseball's storied franchises. Like, if you really are like a true baseball traditionalist, you can't do without mentioning the Oakland Athletics. Mm-hmm. The Moneyball. That whole thing, like that whole generation of Oakland Athletics baseball was just unbelievable.
Right.
What, they win the '89 World Series?
Sounds right.
I think it was '89, and they're just you can't do it, man. You can't move a team like that to a different city. So these fans came out last night. First of all, Oakland's on fire. The team itself, 7 in a row, with a big win over the Tampa Bay Rays in the midst of that. So it's not like they're beating nobodies on the way there.
They took 2 or 3 from the Bravos as well.
Yeah, right, exactly. So they're red hot, man, and the fans they were on fire last night. They're chanting "Sell the team" before the game. And my favorite part of the whole thing was after the game, they showed the players the respect to let the players and the coaches and both teams clear the field. And then they started trashing the field. And usually I'm against that. I don't like that kind of thing. But because that's Philly stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's Philly stuff. I mean, let's be honest. Batteries and stuff. But come on in, man. Yeah, come on in.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just feel like that was a really, really good way for the fans to express their discontent.
And it was authentic, and I do, like you said, it was, if you are going to trash the field, wait till the end of the ball game, wait till the players get off the field. You're not hurting anyone, but you are showing, portraying your displeasure with the franchise. I don't think that it's going to change anything. It's not going to change anything because they came to the deal last night on the day of that they're holding this boycott. But if I'm the owner, and at the end of the day, if you're the owner and you're worried about the franchise and the direction that it's going, do you see a light at the end of the tunnel with Oakland? Or how much bigger is that light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to moving to Las Vegas? I mean, I know we're talking about baseball here, but let's go to other sports. And okay, the Raiders haven't really done a whole lot since they've been over there with Vegas, but I can point to one team last night that won the Stanley Cup, and within 6 years they hoist the granddaddy of them all.
But I think the difference with the Knights is that they were an expansion team. Now, if MLB's talking about expanding, then absolutely they should get a team. And you haven't said anything. I'm really sorry. I'm like doing jumping jacks up here.
Well, what gets me about the whole situation is it's been over a couple of years that Oakland's kind of lost everything.
Yeah,
they've lost the Raiders.
Yep.
They've lost, granted, they were the Golden State Warriors, but granted, they just moved across the bridge, but still, that's losing a NBA team. Mm-hmm, and now they're going to lose the A's. I just feel for the fans that have nowhere to go. They're used to, every Sunday, let's go to a Raiders game. Every weeknight, we can go to Dollar Dog night. Dollar Glizzy night. Let's just hang out.
Glizzy night.
Glizzy boys.
But it's just what hurts me the most is the fans. Is for the fans and them losing everything. Granted, the A's haven't been much since the Moneyball days, but still, that's still losing a MLB top tier franchise.
I mean,
historic franchise.
Okay, I was about to say I'm okay with you calling them historically a great franchise. Where they're at right now,
right?
Not so much a great franchise.
They've won 7 straight, but they're still 19-50.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, there's actually another pretty cool stat on that as well when it comes to the A's, because of their 7-game win streak, tied for the longest team by a team to enter with a sub 200 win percentage with minimum 25 games into a season, and that's according to the Elias Sports Bureau. So very, great, very impressive stuff. And they did win 3 World Series in a row in 1972, 73, and 74. And they did win that World Series via a sweep against the Giants in 1989 to go along with that. Caveman Rick's got a take here. Not every city deserves 4 professional sports franchises. Well, being in the direction that, sports are right now with gambling, it's only a matter of time before Vegas gets, as soon as the NBA decides to go to, or they get tired of a franchise being in a certain city and it's not really picking up, that's going to Vegas. Or they decide to go to 32. There's going to be a team in Vegas. They will have 4 professional sports franchises of the major sports, and it's an is what it is thing now.
I agree with the sentiment that not every city
I agree.
gets it,
Yeah, not
but
every.
If Vegas is definitely on the list that does. Like, especially with what you said, like sports gambling becoming such a big thing now. We're literally promoting this on these broadcasts. Like, sports gambling is sports now. This is a natural part of the sport. Why wouldn't Vegas? I mean, why wouldn't they? They're selling out Allegiant. They're selling that stadium out. And the Raiders, they're terrible.
Well, I don't even know if it's Raiders fans that are really selling it out.
You
but
get it, though. But they're still there. Maybe that just proves the point even further. People are still going.
Vegas is a lot like Panama City. Without actually having been there, I'll say it's a lot like Panama City in the sense of the melting pot, where you're going to get so many fans of different different teams all in that same conglomerated area, which makes it a lot of fun. So maybe the Raiders aren't packing out the fans or packing out the stands, but the other team that you're playing, and then on top of that, you're going to have fans of other teams who have no, dog in the fight in this particular game, and they're going to be showing up and showing out as well.
And it's also a destination place for fans. Like, if the Saints were to play over there and I could convince my wife, hey, let's go spend a week in Vegas. That's a destination place to go hang out and go spend a week. It's more than just going to a football game. Like, I tried to convince my wife to Christmas last year to go up to Philadelphia to watch the Saints in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And
for like preseason or for?
No, Christmas.
Oh, last year. Okay, gotcha.
And I was, me and Eddie had it all planned out. We were going to go hang out. He's got family up that way, so we were going to stay at his family's place. And I couldn't convince the wife. She was like, "What am I supposed to do when you're at the game?" I was like, "Explore Philly." She goes, "Well,
yeah, okay, well, that's." Listen, you lost me at Explore Philly. What do you mean? Send her to DC or something.
Exactly.
I think that's the same premise, though, as far as in the situation of going by yourself.
She wasn't in for. She was like, "Why would I want to explore Philly? Why do I want to do that?
I would love to go explore Philly."
Exactly. I would love to. But my wife, on the other hand, was like, "No, what am I supposed to do whenever you're at the ball game?"
How did you miss the opportunity to say, learn how to play Warzone?
Yep.
You could have had another buddy. You could have just bought her an Xbox, and then here you go. There you go. But yeah, I mean, I think going around and being, touring Philadelphia in a sense, to see the Rocky statue and stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't know about,
sending a woman out there by herself.
Hey, she's a strong woman, dog.
See if you can find us some. Never mind.
There you go, man. So we'll move on. I do think that was cool of the A's fans last night. I mean, especially when you've got several minor league franchises that are outperforming in terms of attendance, the Oakland Athletics. And so for them to bring in 27,000 fans last night to kind of show where they're at, I like that for them. I like that for them. Jordan Alvarez out for 4 weeks with an oblique strain. Lance McCullers, how long's he out for?
The season.
Remainder of the season.
Ooh, so what's good? I mean, the Rangers been playing good ball. The Angels, you just have no idea what's going to happen. Is this going to be the first time in a long time that the Astros don't win the American League West?
I want to see a little bit more. I want to see at the All-Star break what the Rangers are looking like, because they just lost DeGrom as well. So
yeah, they did.
I want to see what the Rangers are looking like towards the All-Star break. And that will be my barrier as well, because also we're about to get with losing Jordan, Michael Brantley should be coming back in the next couple of weeks.
He's only 50?
So he should be able to come back and still play left field, and that getting Uncle Mike back, that definitely helps us. So like I said, I want to see at the All-Star break what happens with the Rangers, how they do, because, I mean, it could be just like last year. They lead the whole year, and then all of a sudden it could be just like last year with the Mets and Braves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They lead the whole year, and then next thing you know, bam, they falter towards the end of the season and stumble into the playoffs.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Well, no, I'm not going to say good stuff. I hope that y'all falter and don't win.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
No doubt. And I would like to see the Cincinnati Reds take 2 or 3. And we've got to get into Ellie De La Cruz and some of your thoughts on him. No, I'm saying I hope that they do. I can't give you a determining factor on if they will or not, but you know how those injuries play a role. But also look at last year. You guys don't have Carlos Correa, and there was great rumors surrounding Jeremy Pena, but he came in and did the dang thing and kind of, proved a lot of people wrong. And then also, it might be one of the factors why Carlos Correa didn't. Obviously, it comes down to the physical, but you had to look at Carlos Correa in a different light, in my opinion, if you're one of the franchises, even though the Giants and who was this? It was the Giants, the Mets, and then back to the Twins. Man, that is a tough break for you.
He's hitting like 230 this year, too, which is even better.
We've got the assistant general manager of Dave & Buster's in the building with us. That is Amanda Muller, and we're going to be talking about our top 5 games today at 5:20. Well, how's your day been today, Amanda?
A little hectic, but we're looking good. It's getting crazy in here, but summer Wednesdays, it's a good feeling. Dude,
every time we pull into the parking lot, I'm like,
wild.
Wow. I don't know where to park now because just about every daggone parking stall or parking spot is filled up out here. But we're out here at Dave & Buster's again. If you come and find us, we're in a different location than we've been in our entire
like hide and
remote.
seek.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got a $10 power card on the line for you.
Scavenger hunt.
So come find us out here at Dave & Buster's. We're in Pier Park. You also got half-price games all day on Wednesday afternoon. And even better than that, for the parents who's going to be watching their kids play the games, and you'll play some along with them as well, but you've got happy hour from 4 to 7, which is going to be half-price cocktails. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to get into the Goat of Goats, kind of break down what's going on, how we're going to play it out, how the voting process is going to work, and all of that great stuff. And we're going to give you guys a full week to be voting on that before we get onto the second round. This should be a lot of fun. I think one of the ones was posted on Facebook today where you've got, Cars versus
Turbo.
the Snail? Oh,
yeah, Turbo.
The snail is actually exactly.
Now, of course, I love Cars more, which I did put the correct emoji, whatever.
You hearted it.
it's a reaction.
You
I
hearted
was just
it.
excited to see Ka-chow. So,
Kachinga.
my kid loves, that's Chick Hicks. My kid loves Cars, so obviously I like Cars more now. If it was my choice, I'd say Turbo. I mean, Ryan Reynolds is the voice of a racing snail.
Yeah.
Out of a taco truck. Like, how do you not?
Right. No, I actually, Turbo is a very underrated movie.
It is, but
I don't think
Cars-
it gets its flowers, but Cars is tough.
iconic.
But Cars is done in the next round anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Ooh, we'll have to see, though. We've got
Cars
a lot of
walk.
voting left to go. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Quick timeout. We'll be right back with our Goat of Goats segment.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Kelsey's Pond.
How many is this, Trigger? Have you ever seen a map of the United States?
I'd have to look, but I'm from here. It's not
that's like
that
3
far.
states away.
I'm going home. Y'all are being rude. I'm leaving. Ethan,
It's 17 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I'm getting
ain't
at.
that-
Hey, Yankee. That's
it
what
ain't
I'm
that
getting at.
far,
Y'all
is
are.
it?
Weekday mornings 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, possible thunderstorms and some clouds and a temperature 84 with a 13 to 17 miles per hour wind out of the southwest. Possible thunderstorms and mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and warm near 79. Likely thunderstorms and 85 tomorrow. 84 and likely thunderstorms and heavy rain with a gentle breeze Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
1, 2. I'm in love with a man named Rudy. I'm okay with that. He knows exactly what I want. Keeps me coming back. is too. I'm in love with a man named Rudy, last name Barbecue. It sure is easy to fall in love with Rudy's tasty oak smoked barbecue.
Next in line.
On the run, caught. Time to let the big dogs eat.
How about that answer by Georgia? To the end zone, touchdown, Georgia.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. We're live and local. We're out here at Pier Park. We're at Dave & Buster's. We're not in a secret location. We're in a location where you could search around and find us. And when you do find us, Kyle, never mind. We're not going to do that. No, you're good. You're good. If you do find us, we're going to be hooking you up with a $10 power card for Dave & Buster's here, which on Wednesdays, if you don't know, now you know, because it is half-price games on Wednesday afternoons out here. And that's an all-day long thing. We also have the half-price cocktails for happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. It's just an amazing place. Again, like we said, we had a new appetizer today. It was the shrimp Creole, and it was absolutely amazing. We're kind of creatures of habit when it comes to the food, just because we've got a lot of things going on when we're out here, so we don't have, 100% or a lot of time to actually sit down and eat. It's more, get some finger foods and whatever and some appetizers and just try to get that done while we get everything set up and get ready to go, and then go out and kind of play a couple of games, interact with some of the patrons that are hanging out around Dave & Buster's. And it is busy out here, though, which, man, it's so much fun watching all of the people have fun. And then, of course, as always, we got to watch Kyle play the Guardians of the Galaxy game, because you're on, a streak of 4 weeks now, 3 weeks, where you've gotten the super bonus.
Yep, 3 weeks for myself, and then the fourth was for Drew.
There you go. That's crazy. So that means that whole situation where, Kyle was a little bit butthurt because he won a bunch of tickets for Drew. So it's been a month since that happened.
Yeah.
It's helped you.
No.
In the long run.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, well, let's get into the go-to-goats, man.
Let's do it.
Kyle, are you ready to kind of break this down for me? Because he was working on this morning while I was working, running the board for the Inside Drive, and then came together with a pretty good plan. So break it down for me. What are we going to be doing, and what are the next few steps here, and how are the listeners going to be making their votes?
All right, here we go. So I just posted on Facebook about a minute ago. The bracket is officially, well, not the bracket, because we had to do it through Google Forms.
Yeah.
But you can now go to my page. I tagged Drew, David, and Amanda. Hopefully they'll do their due diligence and not only share it, but inbox it to a bunch of friends. And if you do see that post, maybe do give it a share.
Yes, please share it out, because the more votes that we get, the better.
So what we're doing now, we got the first round posted 100% on Facebook. We're going to give you guys a week to vote. Of course, we'll post it a lot more in between here and there.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll move on to, we'll talk about the results of round one, and maybe move on, announce the result. We'll announce the results, and then we'll post round two next week. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, that sounds very fair to me, even though, fair is not exactly what we're looking for here. But this is a lot of fun. Do we want to go through let's do this. Instead of giving our answer, let's go through some of these and say who we think will win.
I like it.
Who we think will win, not who we want to win, but who we think will win. And so we already talked in the previous segment about Cars and Turbo, and they're kind of a play-in game. So that's our first play-in. How many play-ins do we have in this? That's the only one, right?
That's, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only play-in. So the winner of this, Cars and Turbo, is going to be going up against Remember the Titans. Does any one of us three who are in the building right now think that Cars or Turbo, or combine the movie together, could take down the number one overall seed, if I'm not mistaken, in Remember the Titans?
Yeah, I just don't think this is going to be possible here.
Nope.
It's an unfortunate draw, but Remember the Titans, to me, really has the potential to go all the way.
I like it, man. Well, we'll go to the next one here, and we're talking about both of the Space Jams. So you got Space Jam Michael Jordan, the original one, and then you've got LeBron James Space Jam, A New Legacy. Which one do you guys think will move on to the second round?
Yeah.
Original.
Yeah, I think the acting is actually better in the second one.
Okay.
But I do think that just because it's number one, it's a classic.
Nostalgia effect.
The nostalgia effect. And of course, it's just a better movie, really, all around.
I like that, and it kind of had that old school animation. It would be interesting to kind of sit there and watch those movies back to back. But I think this is one of those things that ties into that Michael Jordan LeBron debate. So anyone who's got a dog in that fight or whatever, they're automatically it doesn't even matter what they think about the movies. They're going to be rolling with Michael Jordan there. So I think the original Space Jam's going to win that one, but it'll be interesting. The next question that we got, or the next matchup that we have, is Goon and Benchwarmers. Now, I think this one could be tough, and here's why. You've got two kind of, I don't want to say not popular because they absolutely are popular, but Benchwarmers is...
That is with, Rob Schneider, right. John Heater.
Okay. So never mind.
No, yeah, David Spade.
Yeah, he's in it. So this is actually about baseball. For some reason, I was thinking of Kicking and Screaming right here. So no. So you got Goon, which is about hockey, and then Benchwarmers about baseball. So this one could be pretty good, though. For me, that's not what we're doing here. So I think Benchwarmers is going to come out on top here, but we'll have to leave that to the people. What are you guys thinking?
I agree with you. I think Benchwarmers comes out on top, but I would like to see people give Goon its due diligence.
Yes, sir. And that's another thing too, is with these movies, if you come across two of them and you haven't seen them, well then you can, or if you've seen one, you can skip it, or it's going to be open for a week. Yeah. So you get on there, go to a website, figure out how to watch it. I mean, it's not hard these days to be able to watch any movie that you want to watch. Oh, what are you thinking when it comes to Goon Benchwarmers, Drew? Do?
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head. I've got to go watch it. I've never seen Goon, so I had never heard of it until we sat down to start writing out movies. So I've definitely got to do my due diligence there and go take care. Go watch Goon. I saw it pop up on Hulu, I believe, here recently. It was either Hulu or Netflix.
I think it was Netflix.
But I got to go watch that, and then I can have a more of an informed opinion on things. But I really like Benchwarmers. Benchwarmers was one of my go-to movies when I was a kid. Just being able to look at being an older guy and what I wanted to be when I grew up, a guy who bullied on little kids and the crumpled up paper, handing it and going, I am 12.
How long ago did you post this?
About 5 minutes ago.
We've got 5 responses on just about each question so far. So thank you guys. I'm sure that most of those are from Facebook, but for those of you who are wondering right now, it's David Hayes, Kyle Wright, and Drew Gorman. And so you can find all of these movies and all of this stuff on our Facebooks and just follow those links there, and you'll be able to make your votes.
Nick Gurley has already said that he submitted his form, as well as Joe Brewer.
Oh, there you go, man. So the next one that we've got is Raging Bull or A League of Their Own.
There's no crying in baseball.
Right, and I think that, I think that one moves on, and I got to say, I haven't seen Raging Bull, or at least I don't think I've seen that one. And this is what I was getting at, too. Due diligence is irrelevant in this. This is 100% high. If you don't want to watch the movie, like, if there's two movies, I wouldn't vote on something that you haven't watched if they're going up against each other. But if you watched one and haven't watched the other and don't care to watch the other, then vote for the one that you've watched.
Yeah,
that's all we're looking for, is just to try, honestly, all this is filler until we get to football season, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know how well we do with just 2 hours of me sitting up here and Kyle and Drew sitting here talking about baseball for 2 hours. I think we would have a group of listeners.
We would have fun.
Yeah, we would have fun.
I will tell you this, that we're starting NFL division breakdowns in a couple weeks as well,
yes,
right?
I believe it. I think we came up with the second week in July.
Yeah, I think so. The
second
12th,
week
maybe.
in July. I believe.
Yes.
I think July 4th is.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
We did. I think July 4th is on a Tuesday this year, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I
we'll see if we're here.
I love when July 4th is on a Monday or on a Friday, because it's like automatically,
yes,
baby.
Sir. I think that's why we pushed it to the 12th, was because we were going to start it in July. We have to do 2 divisions on one day just because of that reason. But
yes, absolutely.
We probably won't do a show on the 5th. We'll see.
What are you thinking here, Drew, when it comes to Raging Bull or A League of Their Own?
I mean, it's fairly. I haven't seen Raging Bull as well, but I'm pretty sure the quotability of A League of Their Own definitely trumps everything and just the story behind it.
All right. Austin Riley's hit a sacrifice fly in the top of the first. Ronald Acuna Jr. scoring there, so the Braves lead the Tigers 1-0. In the next matchup, we've got Invincible or Trouble with the Curve. The only one I've seen out of these two. No. I've seen both of these. All right. I think Trouble with the Curve moves on here. I think Trouble with the Curve moves on.
See, this is a very tough first-round matchup, and I think this is going to be our first disagreement. This is where I think Invincible moves on. I think a lot of people like old Wahlberg, and I think that's why it's going to move on. And, Dew and Mueller are talking over there, so we can move on.
Drew, how old are you?
Getting on the correct
27.
website.
27. I said he is like 27. So, yep, there you go.
We're voting as we go.
No, we're not voting right now. We're talking about the ones that we think will win.
Okay, which one are we on
because
here?
we're going to break ties, essentially. But we are on right now. We're on Invincible or Trouble with the Curve. Which one do you think moves on? Not what you want. Which
Right.
one do you think the
I
people
think
will vote
Invincible
for?
moves on.
Okay.
More people have seen it.
All right.
Why do we want to know how old I am?
Cape Menrick asked.
You're 27.
Yeah.
Terrell
Just
Buckley
like
right
Taylor
there.
Swift, right? Isn't Taylor Swift 27? Or does he
she
have
was
the
born in
song?
1989.
Just
She's
because I
feeling
need that quick
22.
Dave and Buster's Taylor Swift break, I have listened to the Taylor Swift channel on Pandora for here and there to work, so I did it today because I'm like, all right, Kyle's there today. I'm going to listen to Taylor Swift on the way.
You guys are both wearing pink, by the way.
Right, because it's Wednesday. We wear pink. And I was like, for Kyle, I'm going to do this. So I turned on the Taylor Swift channel, and they never played one Taylor Swift song. It was like Ed Sheeran, and they played Miley Cyrus, and then they played Dua Lipa, and I was like, okay.
Pandora doesn't advertise with us, right?
No, they don't.
Okay, yeah. Using Pandora in 2023 was your first mistake.
because
be an adult, get Spotify.
Or Apple
Well,
Music.
they've got the
Or
better
Apple
kids
Music.
channels.
I
I've
think-
tried Spotify for the Disney and the kids channels, but they don't play the music that Kaiser requires.
You've got an
and that's
iPhone, don't you?
I do.
I make my kid listen to
Yeah.
Slipknot, so
I can do the Apple Music thing.
I make my kid listen to Slipknot.
My kid likes Metallica.
Oh,
Straight
there
up,
you
he'll
go.
be in Nick's
Ride the
truck
lightning.
and he'll start being headbanging. I'm like, all right, kid, get it.
I'm telling you, in my car, you go from Blank Space by Taylor Swift to Nero Forte by Slipknot, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't get. I'm not as much into the screaming, but every other genre of music though, I'm good
Yeah,
with.
I'm like classic rock, but I can go Metallica. And then,
I'm more of
then-
Beethoven, Bach
I have a Led
type of
Zeppelin
guy.
tattoo.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. So we learn something new about Amanda every single week. How about the game plan or like Mike?
This one's tough. Okay, let's maybe turn our earpieces off on the show.
Well, I mean,
No,
you can
you're
hear
good.
that. That's great.
That was wild how loud that was.
That was pretty wild, though. I
Like
think
Mike.
for this one, I think like Mike's gonna move on.
Michael Jordan didn't even make a cameo in the movie.
Go Bow Wow,
He
though,
did.
baby.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he's such a
He really
selfish
didn't.
jerk. So
Whoa.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Throwing out those words. Okay.
Give me the game plan. Give me Dwayne the Rock Johnson, because at least he was in the movie, baby.
I was going to say the game
He
plan
was the movie.
with The Rock.
I know.
I'm taking the game plan to move
Let's
on.
go. We're
All
best
right,
friends.
all right. We're gonna find
We're in the
out.
same color.
2v2.
This next one should be pretty easy. It's Waterboy versus McFarland. I'm going with Waterboy here. I think Waterboy moves on.
Yeah, this is simple.
It really, really sucks.
Gatorade.
Ooh, all right.
This is too tough.
Yeah, this one is really tough, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at Caddyshack, Kicking, and Screaming. Again, all of these are open right now to vote. All you got to do is go to Kyle Wright's Facebook. I'll be sharing it here
I'll
in
share
this
it too,
break.
yeah.
David Hayes is, I don't know if you want me to give out your Facebook because
Go
it's
ahead,
hard
yeah.
to find you, but you could just type in Amanda Lee and then figure out how to spell that, and then you can find Amanda.
They're
and
going
then
to tag me anyway. so
Drew
it's fine.
Gorman is DEWYO.
No, it's
But yeah, I'll share it
DUE.
too,
Remember
because
with the
he's-
two,
I'll get my Wisconsin friends involved. It'll be good. We'll
with
get
the
another
two dots on the U. Just
No, we got Drew. Oh yeah, what is the U? The U that you have in your last name. What is
The umlaut.
Umlaut. That's what I was like.
D umlaut.
Yeah, there you go.
W.
Caddyshack, Kicking and Screaming. Caddyshack, Kicking and Screaming. Well, which one of those do you think moves on? See, I think in today's world, especially with Kicking and Screaming right now being on Netflix, you might get some more of those votes. But I would like to see Caddyshack move on.
Caddyshack should move on.
Yes.
Because I'm not, this is not my personal feelings on it. Because it's tough, Caddyshack.
Whether you're a golfer or not, you know Caddyshack.
Right.
Right, but Ditka's in Kicking and Screaming, so Bears fans should all choose Kicking and Screaming.
But there you go.
Rogers
He's a
is
Fox guy.
But Rogers is daddy.
Rogers is in New York right now, though, so
But he's still daddy.
He's got
Not for
part-time
Ditka.
custody.
For the Packers?
Yeah, not
for the
Ditka.
Bears?
Yeah, Ditka
He's
might
still
have
daddy
something to
the
say about
entire
that.
Bears.
Dude, had
What
somebody
about
break his
Ditka?
leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Caddyshack moves on, but I will say Kicking and Screaming, just watched it again the other day because it is on Netflix. It's such a good
It's
movie.
a sleeper, man. If you haven't seen it, it's good.
Oh, yeah,
Such a
no
good
doubt.
movie. Such a good movie.
No doubt. The next one we're going to is Bad News Bears Against Themselves, 1976 versus the 2005 version of the Bad News Bears. Man, this one is so tough for me to, like, which direction. It really comes down to the demographic of who's going to be voting. I think that the 2005 Bad News Bears is going to be the one that actually moves on here.
From a personal level, this is going to be one that I skip because I never seen the old Bad News Bears. Obviously, I've seen the new one. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I don't like what's his name,
Billy Bob Thornton.
I don't like Billy Bob Thornton all that much. So this is probably a question that I'll skip on the poll, which you can do.
The old one is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a whole lot more of a PG-13 R towards, from what I remember.
It's real.
It's closer towards, it's more scandalous
Okay.
than a PG movie.
I like
is.
I like them both. I'll say, honestly, my answer, I think I like the older one better for this one. The Longest Yard might be, one of those ones that I go to the newer one on. But I think that the 2005 Bad News Bears is going to outperform in this particular setting.
Because I obviously favor my bestie, I also do not like Billy Bob Thornton. So the old one it is.
We are like perfect.
There you go.
Telling you.
Look at us.
The next one is
Look at
Slapshot
this.
versus Coach Carter. I think Coach Carter moves on here, but I watched Slapshot the other night, and it's definitely a good movie. I just think that Coach Carter is going to be one of those ones that kind of resonates. It's hard to put up a hockey movie going up against a football movie, a basketball movie, a baseball movie even.
Yeah, I think Coach Carter wins this in a landslide. Slapshot, decent movie. Coach Carter, one of the greatest movies of all time.
Again, based on the demographic, I think more people have seen Coach Carter, even though you should watch Slapshot, so Coach Carter moves on.
There you go.
I'm just saying what you guys are saying, Coach Carter.
All right, Bull Durham, White Men Can't Jump here. This was going to be so tough, especially because, you get kind of both of the ages here, or you know what I mean? Both of these are kind of older movies. I think White Men Can't Jump moves on here, though. I think that.
I actually agree with you. That's what my gut instinct was that one moves on.
Staying with the best friend connection here, I agree. I think comedy is also going to get a lot of favoritism in this.
Yes.
Oh, I agree 1,000%.
It sucks for a sweep, but I'm going to go with Bull Durham.
All right, we've got a couple more. We got a couple more matchups to go through. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 the Forgotten Coast in Port St. Joe. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the Afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, possible thunderstorms and some clouds and a temperature 84 with a 13 to 17 miles per hour wind out of the southwest. Possible thunderstorms and mostly clouds tonight, a gentle breeze and warm near 79. Likely thunderstorms and 85 tomorrow. 84 and likely thunderstorms and heavy rain with a gentle breeze Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
You're riding shotgun with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to need some gas money. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Fill her up, please.
At 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. This is normally our segment where we dive into the Atlanta Braves and talk about what's going on in baseball, but we'll find some time throughout the show to get back to all of that. Do want to remind you guys that the Braves update is brought to you by The Break Room. Today's special is chicken pot pie, Amanda's favorite, and then tomorrow is going to be hamburger steak. All of these specials are just $12. They come with a drink and a side. Go check out The Break Room. It's in the old Vic Sports Bar location. Also was once known as the Purple Turtle. The Break Room brings you the Braves update. The Braves right now are up on top of the Detroit Tigers 3-0 in the top of the third. It's been a wild ride for the Braves today. You know, in that the previous game, the game one of the doubleheader, Spencer Strider got out to a rough start. The Tigers get out to a 4-0 head start there with 3 different home runs, one of those being a 2-run shot. And then Ronald Acuna kind of got the Braves back into it. And the Braves did for Spencer Strider what they needed to do for Charlie Morton the other night. But it just, good for them to get the win for Spencer Strider. Hasn't looked as effective in his last 2 starts as what he did to start the year. But if he's still getting 8 strikeouts, I mean, that's a heck of a job, man. Let's get into our next matchup, which is going to be Little Giants versus Field of Dreams. Little Giants versus Field of Dreams. This is so tough, and we actually are going to have a Field of Dreams game next year. It's not going to be up there in Iowa. It's actually going to be in Birmingham, Alabama.
How do you not play the Field of Dreams game on the Field of Dreams?
Well, because they are in the process of renovating the Field of Dreams.
God.
So they're going to be playing that in Birmingham, Alabama. I have a little bit more on that. We'll talk about that later on, but Little Giants versus Field of Dreams. This one I think could be tough. Actually, I'll say it's tough for me. I think that Field of Dreams moves on here. What say y'all?
I want Little Giants to move on.
You want it that way. We get it.
Yeah. I want Little Giants to move on, but I think you're right. I think Field of Dreams is going to be the one that moves on because we're getting that reoccurring. It's fresh in people's minds, having the Field of Dreams games every couple seasons. So it's fresh in people's minds. They're always thinking about it now. So I think Field of Dreams moves on.
I don't need 2 minutes to tell you that Field of Dreams is moving on.
All I've ever needed is 2 minutes.
All right. Who
Field
is
of Dreams
Ezra? The Replacements or Moneyball? The Replacements or Moneyball?
This one is so hard because it's hard not to answer what I want.
Right, of course.
I would love Moneyball to move on, but The Replacements is going to move on.
You think so? I think Moneyball is
I
just
love Moneyball.
too romanticized by baseball fans. Not two with 2 O's, but it's very romantic.
I mean, Keanu?
I don't know. I think Moneyball's going to move on.
I hope you're right.
Well, the first time I watched The Replacements, it was
Well, see, it starts with an R, which happens to be the second letter of my name. Actually, it's Do, so there's no.
There is no R.
I think The Replacements are going to be the one that moves on.
All right, man. Let's keep it rolling on. Looking for some text here. Haven't gotten any yet. You can text us at 850-215-6290. We're not taking any calls today because we're out here at Dave & Buster's, and you still got an hour and 14 minutes to come find where we are located at inside of Dave & Buster's today, and we're going to hook you up with a $10 power card for Dave & Buster's, which essentially lines up to be worth being worth $20 here on a Wednesday. And what gets better than that? happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on Wednesdays. Come out and try. What do I want you guys to try today? Ooh, something that I haven't tried yet. How about the barbecue chicken flatbread? Because that's on the agenda for next week.
Yeah,
we've already got it planned out, baby.
What about the Korean sticky ribs?
That's going to be about 5. I think we're 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks away from that one.
You guys are going to get the entire menu before we're done. But I mean,
that's the whole goal.
That's the whole goal. We got the ribeye last week. Thanks, Drew.
I keep reordering stuff.
I know it's hard not to reorder stuff, but really, there's like try some of the things you weren't planning on because they will surprise you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right,
ma'am.
Keeping on with our goat of goats here, and the next matchup is going to be Major League 2 versus Major League 3. This one's another tough one, and I want to go back and watch Major League 3 because I definitely remember 1 and 2 way more than what I remember Major League 3. So I think Major League 2 is going to be moving on.
I agree with you because I'm in my head when I'm replaying scenes. It's Major League 2.
3's a crowd, so Major League 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, Major League 2 is definitely, I think, a landslide, actually.
All right, Amanda wants to see Sandlot or Ready to Rumble. Sandlot or Ready to Rumble.
This is a no-brainer, Sandlot.
Ooh, and it's going up against a good movie and Ready to Rumble. I really thought y'all two were going to say Ready to Rumble.
I think that, we're not picking who we want here. We're
I know,
picking,
this is a Final Four movie. This is not, doesn't matter what it's up against.
It's a really bad draw, but I would honestly say, especially if you're an old-school wrestling fan, go watch Ready to Rumble.
I know, but the Sandlot is just, it's not iconic.
It's untouchable. It's untouchable.
It is.
I'm going to vote against it, but it's untouchable.
Right.
Ooh.
You can vote against it, but this is what we think is going to win.
Yeah.
Sandlot.
Happy Gilmore or Vision Quest. I think Happy Gilmore by a landslide.
Yeah, landslide.
All right, to the longest yards here. 1974 longest yard, 2005 longest yard. Again, I think the more recent movie wins.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Which would interestingly enough set up an all Adam Sandler second round matchup there.
Ooh, that would be a lot of fun.
He did really well with sports movies with the comedic timing and just making everybody like it and everything. Burt Reynolds is in both, so I win either way.
There you go. Hoosiers. Hoosiers or Gridiron Gang. Hoosiers or Gridiron Gang.
Ooh,
this is a tough one.
Give me The Rock.
I'm thinking that the Hoosiers move on here. I'm thinking
Gridiron
Hoosiers move
Gang.
on. Gridiron Gang.
Ooh.
What are you thinking over there, Drew?
Exhibit and The Rock versus Hoosiers. Ooh, that's tough. I think Hoosiers is going to move on.
All right.
It's world famous for muscle pain relief, by the way. I'm definitely going to go with the Gridiron Gang on this one. That's what I think is going to win at least. I just think that's an all-time classic.
We're up to 12 responses now. Keep them rolling in again.
Keep them coming. 12 already?
Go to Kyle Wright's Facebook right now. He shared it. He shared it on his Facebook page, and it'll take you right over there to the Google form, and then you just fill out all of your responses or all of your answers for we got 32 matchups here in the first round, and then we'll be moving down to the second round next Wednesday. Ali versus The Natural. This one is naturally going to be tough. I think Ali actually moves on here, but it just depends on are our elders going to be voting for this?
I think they will, so I think The Natural is going to move on.
Okay, I like it.
I like that too, and I tend to agree.
Bestie.
This doesn't mean I'm going to vote for The Natural. I'm just saying, I agree.
I think The Natural moves on.
All right, he got game. Cool runnings, landslide.
Landslide. Cool
Yeah, I mean, it's
going once, going twice, going thrice.
Going twice, man.
All right, cool runnings it is. Then we're going to get to Major League versus The Perfect Game. I think it's going to be just a bit outside, but Major League is going to come away with the W here.
I think it's going to be more of a landslide than it should be. Go watch The Perfect Game. Good movie, but I do agree.
I think I agree with that as well. I think Major League wins in a landslide because people haven't seen The Perfect Game. Go watch it.
All right. Drew? You Googling movies over here?
No, I'm voting.
I'm voting. We're voting over
wow. Way to go. Yeah. Dodgeball, King Richard. King Richard is, I think this is one of those ones where comedy wins again, even though King Richard was a great movie. It absolutely was. Basically the story of the upbringing of Serena and Venus Williams. Also has Will Smith in there, so that's, great. But Dodgeball, I mean,
That's a bold move, Captain.
yeah. And if you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. I think dodgeball moves on quite easily here.
Me too.
I'm looking at, and I picked dodgeball as well, to move on, but I'm looking at some of the potential matchups in the second round. Whew, they're going to get tough.
Oh, it is going to be tough. That's the best part of this is that it is going to be tough. And that's why it was one of those things. Yeah, we didn't get 100% of the movies in, but there's a lot of movies, man. And there's a lot of great ones in this one. So we're going to be crowning a GOAT. The next, 42. The story of Jackie Robinson, going up against $1 Million Baby. I think it would be a travesty. Maybe not, because $1 Million Baby is a great movie. I think it would be a travesty, a tragedy, if 42 doesn't move on.
In our baseball-loving town with all of our baseball-loving friends, this would probably be the most shocking result to me.
All right.
Man, that was a home run in an elevator shaft.
$1 Million Baby.
Okay. All right. Will Ferrell going up against himself right here.
And I love
Talladega Nights versus Blades of Glory. Talladega Nights versus Blades of Glory. Who moves on?
This is not fair to Blades of Glory, by the way.
No.
But I think Talladega Nights in a landslide.
I don't know if it's a landslide, but Talladega Nights, yeah.
I think it's going to be close too, but it's still Talladega Nights. Shake and bake, baby.
I don't think it's going to be close. I think Blades of Glory was like a decent movie, but it was like when you think of all of just sports, like I would take Kicking and Screaming all day over Blades of Glory.
You know, it's funny because now that we were thinking about it, like Adam Sandler has a lot of those good comedic sports movies, but so does Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yeah.
And he's about to be John Madden.
I know, that's
I
going to be
can't wait.
amazing.
If we did this next year,
No.
Yeah.
the whole thing might be different.
Why do you say that?
You could have Adam Sandler movies up against.
Oh, if
That's
we
after, yeah.
did this. Okay, yeah,
Also,
yeah.
this is just movies, but if we were including Ted Lasso in this thing would be crazy different.
Yeah, if you started getting into shows and stuff,
Yeah.
and you got Friday Night Lights. I mean, again,
Blue Mountain State.
Blue Mountain
State was amazing.
Let's not get too
2024,
excited.
kids.
Yeah, 2024. Well, we got the 2024 sports video games, bro.
That's true. You
have to do sports
When do
video
we do
games.
Adam Sandler sports movies versus Will Ferrell sports movies?
I think that we could do that after this. I think we could do that after this,
Yeah, that's what I'm
honestly.
saying. We could just do
because
it.
it's not. You don't even have to do the
It used to
whole.
be a fun segment someday.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we got a long summer ahead of us. There's mini camps, but that's pretty much it right now.
Amen. That's why we're going back to back
Dog days of
segments
summer
here.
for sports fans.
Exactly. That's why we've gone back to back segments here talking about movies for like the last 3 weeks in a row. Air Bud versus Air Bud 2. I think Air Bud 2 is what, Golden Receiver?
No, that's
Retriever.
the puppies.
That's the
No,
pup.
Air Bud 2 is Golden Retriever.
When's the puppies?
That's
No, it's
Air
Golden
Bud?
Air
Receiver.
Buddies.
Oh, Air Buddies. You're right.
Yeah, it's Golden Receiver, not Golden Retriever.
Golden Receiver.
Golden Retriever is what he is. He's a Golden Receiver. I'm looking at it right
You're
now.
right. You're right.
The movie title is Golden Receiver.
It's
I
a
think the
play on
original
words.
Air
You're right.
Bud, because one, the old owner really creeped me out, and as a kid, you're like, oh my gosh, that poor dog.
Yeah.
And then two, he fed the dog pudding, and that's great. I can recall this entire movie, and I haven't seen it in 2 decades.
The pudding, though.
Snack packs
The
to get out
snack
of the-
packs.
yes.
That might be once you said that, I'm like,
Right,
oh.
it takes you back. But then, I don't care who you are, you're dead inside. If you didn't bawl your eyes out when he threw the ball on the island and he's boating, I'm going to cry right now. This is messed up. We can't talk about it.
No, it's okay because people on the radio like to listen to people cry. Yeah. So
It's terrible.
it's
He abandons the dog on the
terrible.
island, and it's just the doggy tries to swim for a little bit.
I think Air Bud moves on here. Air Bud moves on. Anyone else?
The OG Air Bud moves on.
Yeah,
Yes.
Air Bud. Well, I think 100% chance one of the Air Bud moves on.
It is hard to beat the first.
We Are Marshall going up against Angels in the Outfield. I think now if it's my decision, I'm not going there. I think We Are Marshall actually ends up moving on, but we'll have to see how the voting goes.
My feelings aside, Angels in the outfield. Move on.
Angels in the outfield.
I think We Are Marshall moves on.
All right,
Sorry,
so we're
man.
split. The best friends have broken up for the rest of the afternoon. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We're going to go to the next matchup. It's Rudy versus the Karate Kid. I think Rudy is a great movie, and I think this is going to be tough. I think you're going to see a split like a 57-43, something like that. I think Karate Kid moves on, though.
I think because of
Cobra Kai, yes.
Right now, that Karate Kid moves on by a thin margin.
Yeah, Karate Kid.
Hey, I don't necessarily disagree with what Caveman just said. Animal movies shouldn't even count. Like, I don't necessarily disagree. But Air Bud's a classic, man. Air Bud is absolutely a classic. Mike McMullen says, no way the annexation of Puerto Rico is going to prevail. Mike McMullen, make it happen, man. Go over to Facebook right now and give us some votes. I definitely would love to see Little Giants move on. Like, I think a great matchup, and I don't think that it's even possible, but Little Giants versus Angels in the outfield, that would be a great matchup. We'll move on to one of our next matchups here, and that's going to be, this one's going to be so tough for me because I could see either one of these in my Final Four, and I don't think either one of them make it past the second round, but the rookie going up against the legend of Bagger Vance, which I've been told to watch this movie for a long time, and about 3-4 weeks ago or so I watched it, and I didn't start the movie till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that was a mistake. It's long.
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and it was a work day, but I didn't go to bed till like almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a long movie.
Yeah, but it was just one of those ones, and I'm like, oh, I really do see why this is such a good movie, because I think for sports movies, it's got to have the outside of sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to nail that, but you also, like, you got to nail the sports side of it
But
as
I think
well.
the
So
rookie
it's
does
doubly
that
hard.
too.
Oh, 100%. The rookie. If I could choose who the winner of this whole thing was, the rookie. Because I was living down in St. Pete when this movie came out, and he's a devil, right? You know what I mean? So, and then also, who has never tried to, or at least thought of, getting out of their truck, and I was too young when I lived in St. Pete for this, and going up to one of those speed limit signs and just chunking at it.
The rookie moves on.
Yeah.
We've already got 15 responses.
What do you say? Oh, my goodness, and I got to go to break. You're right with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to be right back for hour number 2. Y'all stick with us and give us your response.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Blast at Bay Point, starting Monday, June 26th. Listen to Win Your Tea Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach. Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club. Plus, all contestants instantly win a large bucket of balls on the driving range. Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. A likelihood of thunderstorms and sprinkles tonight with a gentle breeze coming out of the southwest around 10 miles per hour and temps near 79. We will have light rain and likely thunderstorms tomorrow morning and be quite warm, 83. And likely thunderstorms and light rain in the afternoon and evening and a high 85. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Shoreline Rentals, Panama City and Mexico Beach vacation rentals are ready for your visit to the sugary white sand beaches and emerald green waters of the Gulf in Florida's Panhandle. Shoreline Rentals' years of experience means hoping you plan a wonderful beach vacation or management of your home will be a breeze. Visit their website or call them today, shorelinerentals-pcb.com or 850-757-7118.
From the Florida Bama line to the Gulf of Mexico, from the Upper Grand Lagoon to McKenzie Park, we are live and local.
Whether you like it or not, you have a gift.
Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs, live from the Rib Crib Radio Room, ESPN Northwest Florida.
welcome back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and it is hour number 2. I'm David Hayes, along with Kyle Wright, Dew Yorman, and Amanda Muller. She is the Assistant General Manager of Dave & Buster's out here in Pier Park, and we've got about 56 minutes left for you to come find where we're at inside of Dave & Buster's and get yourself a $10 power card to play some of these games around here. Not only that, you also, it's Wednesday, so it's half-price games, so you're getting $20 worth of gaming just for $10, and it's actually 100% free. You just got to come find us. And how do you do that? You just walk inside. You can go up to the front desk and be like, where's ESPN Northwest Florida, or where are the Afternoon Underdogs? They might not know, but you just
they're probably going to say, huh?
Yeah. But someone in this building will be able to tell you. There's really no signs. I will say, I'll give you one hint. Look for the party.
Yeah.
Look for the party, and when you found the party, look a little deeper.
Look beyond what you see.
Yes. Look. Try to find the pompanos. Try to find the pompanos.
The pompanos is crazy.
All right, so we've got, 3 more matchups left here to kind of go over. Left in the first round, which is wild. I would have never guessed that we would have went through all of, all 32 matchups right now. We've already got 15 responses, and again, I haven't even shared this yet, so this is all basically beaming off of Kyle's Facebook. Drew shared it, so you can find it at Drew Gorman's Facebook. You can find it at Kyle's. It will be up on the ESPN Northwest Florida Facebook page this evening, and then again, it will be on my page, which I'm David Hayes with Kyle Wright, Dew Yorman, and Amanda Muller will have hers up there as well. So where did we leave off here? We've got Rocky, which I like this. In parentheses of Rocky is the entire franchise, which, oh, wow. When you think about that, I don't know how one movie can beat, 6 movies?
Yeah.
Did you start talking about the creeds and everything? And
this is why it was just it was so much easier with Rocky to just put them together. Let's just say Rocky.
I feel you.
The Rocky franchise. Because you're talking more than 20% of our field at that point if we do all these movies.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be hard for other movies to stack up to this, but that's what we've got. We've got Rocky, the franchise, going up against The Express, which is a drama that is based on the life of college football hero Ernie Davis, who was the first African-American to win the Heisman Trophy. So a really cool movie right there as well. So it's really going to come down to, do people want, in this particular instance, something that is real life in The Express, or Rocky, which feels like real life? So much so that they built a statue, and then
people put
during football season, people put jerseys on it. So who moves on? Who do you guys think moves on here out of Rocky the franchise or The Express?
I think Rocky's got such a big, what the word that young people use, clout, that there's just no chance for The Express here. But The Express, very good movie.
Yeah, no doubt. Caveman brings up a little bit of a good point here. You have 2 Airbud movies. We've got a lot of 2 sets of movies, but none of these have 5 or 6 or how many ever it is. And so, honestly, in my opinion,
put Slapshot in for you.
But my opinion, though, on this, Caveman Rick, is it makes Rocky stronger. It makes Rocky stronger than maybe anyone else, because it's not like you're just saying, well, I liked Rocky 3 more so than than I did the original Rocky or whatever. You're taking all of those and all of the amazingness that is Rocky. So I think that could work out for Rocky at the end of the day, but we'll just have to find out. It all comes down to how the people are voting. And the next one, we're going to go to a little double dipper here, Karate Kid 2 or 3, which is, we almost should have just did Karate Kid as a franchise, but it doesn't matter. We put in too much work to go back now. Karate Kid 2 versus Karate Kid 3. I can't tell you that this is one I won't be voting on, so I'll say Karate Kid 2 goes on.
Yeah, I think Karate Kid 2 as well. That's one of the biggest ones, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. We're going to move on here.
I just don't want to look at Dew.
Radio going up against the Mighty Ducks. I wouldn't be surprised to see Radio move on, but I think it's going to be the Mighty Ducks.
If that's wrong, I don't want to be right. But give me Radio in a landslide.
Oh, and a landslide. See, I think the Mighty Ducks, Emilio Estevez, I just think this whole, it's just, that was me. I think back to our generation, Dave. Drew, how old are you?
27. The second time.
So you're
second time.
Oh, I get it. I'm sorry, but he's about 3 years behind us. But you and I are closer together, Dave. this may have been our first like big time live action like real people sports movie, like that we really fell in love
when
with
we were
kids,
right?
That we were old enough to understand what was going on and enjoy.
I feel that.
And you wanted the jersey, right?
A movie that's not on here. Do y'all remember Brink?
I do remember Brink.
The skating movie.
Yeah, I do remember Brink.
Dude,
Brink was good too.
Yeah, Brink
what was it?
great.
Rent was good too.
Yeah. There was a lot of great movies on it, but I have to agree with you though. Like there's something about the Mighty Ducks that I watched
just a jersey, bro.
7 months ago, and we talked about this on the Inside Drive today. Don't forget, ESPN Northwest Florida has 3 phenomenal local shows weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You've got the Coach James Hale Show. Then from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. experience the shift from morning to afternoon with the Inside Drive, Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley. And then we wrap up your afternoons with the Afternoon Underdogs from 4 to 6. Those are all weekdays, Monday through Friday, right here. And we were talking about the Mighty Ducks and the jersey, and I was like, man, that's one of the worst things that franchise has ever done. But obviously it comes down to money and licensing and all of that good stuff and some deal with Disney. I don't really know the ins and outs of it, but those were, I don't think original 6 hockey fans or even, like hockey fans pre-Anaheim, but for me, those might be the sharpest jerseys that's ever touched the ice in the NHL. I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but those ones, and I think it really is just because it was emblazoned into our mind with the Mighty Ducks. So I think in this particular matchup, the Mighty Ducks is going to move on.
Yep, I agree.
All right, y'all want to play a little Would You Rather?
I'd love to.
Let's do it.
All right, man.
More.
Let's start off with a little football question. So the Patriots have reached out, or DeAndre Hopkins has visited with the Patriots. He's visited with the Titans. Would you rather see DeAndre Hopkins with the Titans or the New England Patriots?
I'd rather see him with the Titans. I just think he fits a little bit better there rather than in Bill Belichick's system.
I'd rather see him with the Titans. Obviously, as a Dolphins fan, I don't want him in the division. The division's already stacked enough. I think he would do better with New England.
All right. So I think for me, I'm going to say, of course, I would rather see him with the Titans because that's my squad. We need, he would come in and automatically be the number 1 wide receiver. I don't know if he'd be the number 1 target, especially when Tannehill is playing, because I think Chiz is going to be a monster at tight end this year, so we'll see how that plays out. But, I would rather see him with the Titans, but I think he fits in better with the Patriots. Mac Jones, I think he's got a more solid quarterback, or at least a more solid situation there with Mac Jones than he does with Ryan Tannehill. All right, we'll move on to the next question here, and it's going to be CP3 to the Lakers or the Celtics. Y'all take your time on this one.
No, I definitely think the Lakers in this situation. I think the Celtics, they could use some veteran leadership, but I just think, Drew, that the Lakers maybe makes more sense for him. Like, we've been wanting that Banana Boat Boys team up for such a long time. Like, you got LeBron and Wade together, you got Carmelo and Chris Paul together, but you never got all of them. But this will be the next best thing, is to finally get CP3 and LeBron together.
I think he would actually do better in Boston, because I think there he's not as, I wouldn't say needed, but not as have to be that point guard.
Right.
He can be that. He can be somewhat of a, not a role player, but a step up from a role player, but not as high as a superstar. He just has to be a productive role player that is there night in, night out, is able to dish the ball, and I think that's exactly what Tatum and Brown need.
We talked about it, I think it was actually last week when this news came out about how he has made, some big men a lot better, right? We've talked about how good CP3 made Blake Griffin, how good he made DeAndre Jordan, how good he made DeAndre Ayton offensively. Yeah. But now you think about, you put him with Robert Williams, a young center who is really starting to find himself in the post. Yeah. Could be big for Boston. I hope it doesn't happen.
I think it's Boston for me as well, because I would love to see Chris Paul First and foremost, I want to see Chris Paul win an NBA championship before it's all said and done for his career, which is, he says he's playing for, or he says he can play for 2 to 3 to 5 years. I don't think that that's happening. What's he going to be, 38 years old by the time the next season starts?
When you only play 40 games a year, it's pretty...
Yeah, but the problem is the 40 games that he's not playing is the most important games of the season. We talk about that all the time, and that's why I'm so, like, why in the world is load management such a, we got to make sure he's ready for the playoffs. You get to the playoffs and you're not playing. Kawhi.
Right.
Paul George. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the most important part of the season.
Tyler
you guys
Hero.
Tyler Hero. I mean, that was a little bit different because...
Don't tell me you're available and then not play a single minute.
Oh, no, and I feel that. You got to think that really comes down to the doctors more so than if this was hockey, though. If it was hockey, I mean, look at Matt Tkachuk for the Florida Panthers. They got whooped last night, 9-3.
That was tough to watch, man.
Yeah, well, I watched once they scored 3 goals in 5 minutes in the second period. That was it for me.
Yeah,
I was like, it's over. Bobrovsky's not stopping them. They can do whatever. But Vegas has won this. I know it's a very dominant. I think it's only the second time or the second time or first time in a long time that 9 goals has been scored in the Stanley Cup final game. So, very, but Matthew Tkachuk was playing injured throughout. Playing with a broken sternum. You know what the sternum is, right? That bone right here in your chest, playing with a broken sternum. And, and didn't end up playing the game last night, but, hockey players kind of,
they got that dog.
They got that dog in them. They play a little bit more injured. What's so wild about that to me, though, is that they get paid way less of an AAV than what, your big time, your high paid NBA players are as well. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I just would like to see CP3, much to what Drew said, is that he doesn't have, he can be a part of the team. He doesn't have to be LeBron and CP3, which I don't think that that's what the Lakers want to do either.
Exactly, and I don't think that's what's best for the Lakers situation, because it's definitely they're if he goes to the Lakers, it's more of name getting, rather than go and get the player that CP3 is.
Absolutely. Quick Braves update brought to you by the Break Room. It is now 5-5 in the bottom of the fourth.
It was 3-0 a second ago.
Yeah, no doubt. I just got an update. Someone had just hit a home run. Dylan Dodd's on the mound. I think this is his 3rd or 4th start this year. But yeah, Rogers just hit a 3-run shot to tie it up. It was 5-2. So actually, here in the 4th inning, the Tigers have hit 2 home runs. They've hit 3 in the entire game. And also a little quick update on the pitcher and Jesse Chavez. The X-rays are negative. He was struck in the shin with a line drive in the first game of today's doubleheader. So, yeah, good news there that it's negative, but we're talking about a 100-mile-an-hour plus possibly line drive coming back and hitting you in the shin. I would rather that ball be hitting me somewhere up in my thigh or something, you know what I mean, rather than the shin, a little bone-on-bone, essentially, contact. Oh, we'll ask a fun one here. You're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida, riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. Biscuits or bagels?
I start every day with a bagel. So, there you go.
Do you really start every day?
No, absolutely, yeah.
I thought you were just being facetious.
No, I am facetious a lot. But not in this situation, no. I'm on this little weight loss journey, attempting to at least, and the part of that's eating eating earlier and not eating as late, and bagels in the morning have helped me stay pretty strict on that. So,
Drew, I know that you've been doing a lot of research on this one. Biscuits or bagels?
I love a good biscuit. Just either a straight biscuit or a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. There's a place down in Santa Rosa that makes a wonderful bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
I see,
and I love gravy also though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I love sausage biscuits. I love bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, but biscuits and gravy. And what's so funny is I watched a little video on Facebook today of people from England, like kids from England who were in school, probably high schoolers or so. They let them try biscuits and gravy, and they're looking at it, they're like, oh, that looks like throw up or whatever. Then they start eating and they're like, oh, this is good. Then they got them fried chicken, and they were dipping the chicken in the gravy. They're like, oh man, Americans have it so good, and then they gave them sweet tea, bro. And they were like,
probably a shock with the sugar.
They loved it. They were like, I gotta get from now on. If my parents if they're drinking hot tea, I'm putting some ice and some sugar in that.
So only because I just came into the late part of this, but I was shown where we're at. the difference between like American food and like I've lived in other countries. When
Oh,
you
have
eat
you?
it, yeah, Ireland and Australia. I went
Hey,
to college, good
mate.
stuff. But I went to school. The bread here is so sugary.
Yeah.
So when you eat bread over there, it's just, like it's a bland, filler. But here it's like almost a dessert. So like sweet tea had to be amazing.
Beautiful.
Only because of the question, I remember I was over in Australia during the Olympics, which was a cool time to be there.
Yeah.
And they were doing different country items at McDonald's, and they had the Mick America bagel.
Did
you get it? Did you get it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Because
there
bagels over
weren't
biscuits.
bagels in Australia, so they had a bagel for this. So it was bagel, and then it was a rasher of ham, which is just like a little piece of ham, and egg, cheese, and spicy ketchup, which is just normal American
Like
ketchup.
Whataburger. Oh.
Yeah, but it's
it's
but
not very-
spicy ketchup in Australia is just normal American ketchup. And it was like the worst bagel sandwich ever, but I got it because, I was like, America.
Yeah, America.
It had like a McAsia wrap. Like,
Was the food good in Australia? Like overall, like
yeah. Small portions.
small
Like
portions?
the mom of our group, because we flew in, it was a crazy day. That's a story for another time. It's not sports related. It was an awful experience, like traveling and getting there and whatever, what have you. By the end of the day, she's like, should I just order you guys a pizza? And we had 2 apartments of the Americans for my school. So my apartment had like 6 people in it. And she's like, should I just get like a large pizza?
Like, what
And
are
we're
we gonna do with that?
large pizza will be fine. This thing showed up, looked like a personal pan.
But even a large pizza for 6 people, like, did y'all
were
think
starved.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha.
still, like this large pizza in Australia was like this big. I know you guys can't see my hands, but like literally it was the size of a medium.
It's like she's got about a frisbee size or so, maybe a little bit bigger than a frisbee.
I was the one that had the delivery driver, and I'm like, I think you guys messed up a little bit. We ordered a large, and he said this is, and I was like, then we messed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So biscuits or bagels?
Bagels.
Bagels, easy money.
Best friends back.
Me and you went
Shake and
biscuits.
bake,
We're the
baby.
good old Southern boys here. Who do you hate the most out of these teams? I know exactly
Who we
where
hate the
Amanda's
most?
going. Yankees, Packers, Lakers, Celtics, or the Montreal Canadiens? Who do
Packers.
you hate the most?
Packers with a passion.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Growing like into being such an avid hockey fan,
It's a long way to say the Packers.
hate Canada. I'm just being on.
Not just the Canadiens.
No, right? No, not just Montreal. Like Edmonton, Calgary, like all of them.
All right.
Are you a Bret Hart fan by chance?
No, I couldn't stand him.
At all?
I didn't like
Ever?
Bret.
Any of
No,
the- any
didn't
of the
like Bret
Harts?
Hart. But
See,
Jericho's
Davey Boy
Canadian
Smith,
too.
I was
Bret
gonna say,
Hart.
what
I
about
love
Jericho?
Jericho's Canadian, and he's been in.
He's Canadian.
He is. He is.
Are you a hater?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Love Canadians.
I will say though, go look up Ron Swanson Canada note on YouTube, and it's from Parks and Recreation, and that's what I feel about Canada.
The Yankees is the correct answer.
Okay.
Which, by the way,
Wait.
Chris Jericho's father played hockey.
Really?
He was a Ranger.
Did any of y'all know that Tom Glavine was drafted
What?
by the LA Kings?
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was 1985 or so. Pretty cool little. I learned that probably 4 years ago, and it might have been from old school that I learned that, but that was pretty cool. There's our background music. It's like Kyle's trying to take me to break or something.
1985.
Oh, Bowling for
Oh.
Soup.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I need to get that on the bumper music.
Yes, sir.
All right, so for me, I should have asked, added the Astros to this. Is what I should have
Oh,
done.
Would have
But I
been
do
my
hate.
answer.
I do think I hate the Yankees a little bit more than I. Yeah,
hate
for
the
me,
Yankees,
it's
dog.
the Yankees more than any other team on here, and I love baseball, and I think it makes it more fun for me when I dislike a team.
The Packers.
Yeah, that was easy
Packers.
money right there.
The Packers.
This is easy.
The New York Packers. The Green Bay Packers. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. How about Adrian Amos?
Dude,
going to the
another
Jets?
Packer going to the Jets. Like, what
And
is
another-
What did I say? The East Coast Packers now.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I said. The
And
New
a-
York Packers jersey is going to be fired.
In a better division.
Well, essentially, if you look at those New York Titans jerseys, they're kind of similar to like those retro Green Bay Packer jerseys.
the
so
Acme Packers.
the Acme Packers.
Let it happen.
All right, one more before we get to a break here. Would you rather visit Wrigley or Fenway?
Dude, even as a
And-
Cubs fan, that's tough.
I know. I kind of felt like you were going to have not a struggle here. I felt like this was going to be easy for you. But I'm interested. We'll let you go first, Amanda.
I mean, more so than a Cubs fan, I'm a baseball fan. And I think if you're a baseball fan, these two are like the two.
The Mecca.
Yeah.
I have Fenway.
Wow. I wish I had a soundboard in front of me with like a...
Yeah, I mean, Wrigley is amazing, but just I think Fenway outdoes it just a little bit on the iconic.
Have you been to
scale.
both?
Yes, I've been to both.
Wow.
I've never. Okay.
That is cool.
Yeah, and Fenway, like, again, as being a Cubs fan going to Wrigley, that's one thing. But there's something about Fenway that's just, like, magical.
Yeah.
I'm a Bears fan that went to Lambeau Field. Like, I have no affiliation to the team, but the stadium, there's something about Fenway, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt. What about for you, Drew? Do.
I'm going with Fenway here. I mean, there's just something about the Green Monster.
All right. What about for you there, Kyle?
So I want to answer with a story instead.
Yes, I love that.
I'm sorry to go all like...
Steal my thunder.
I know Drew's not here, so we're doing Drew today, so I'll be Drew. 2019, just before COVID, flew up to Chicago to go see Slipknot in concert. My buddy flew me up. We had VIP and everything.
That's awesome.
And noticed the Reds were playing the Cubs. And on my phone it said Reds at the Cubs. I was like, oh my God, this is perfect, right? Like, I'm going. I've always wanted to see Wrigley. Like,
it's iconic.
I hate the Cubs. Probably my least favorite baseball franchise. But
okay, bestie.
I'm just letting you know. Like the Cubs and Cardinals being terrible right now makes me so happy. But anyway, so we get there, and I guess my phone was messed up or something. Like, cause I'm like on the plane in Chicago, like we land and I'm in full Reds gear and like we're going to the game tonight. Like we're going to buy tickets at the gate cause they're cheap. It's the Reds. They suck. It was in Cincinnati. My phone was messed up. It was in Cincinnati. Like we drove down there like near the stadium and everything. And it like kind of an embarrassing sports story to tell, but
I laugh at your misfortune.
One of my
I laugh
favorite
at your
random
misfortune.
sports stories. I was living in Atlanta, and me and one of my girlfriends were booked to work a monster Umbrella Girl event. If you know what those are, awesome, good things. You guys,
Rihanna?
Huh?
Rihanna?
Umbrella?
No, not that kind of umbrella.
Ella?
But if you watch like the motorcycle racing and everything, they have girls with umbrellas stand over the riders because they're in the sun. You know, that was the job. So we got.
Damn, do y'all have anyone with an umbrella over you?
You don't. Yeah, you just hold it over them. But I literally got paid to fly from Atlanta, and they were like, so we got to book you guys, but you're flying 3 different locations. One of them is Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And I was like, this is fantastic. Yes, of course. You know, so they fly us out there, and we land in Milwaukee, and the girl's like, so how close is the racetrack? I said, 2 hours. She said, what? So it's 2 hours away. You know, we're driving, and we do the umbrella thing, and I was like, let's get some tickets to go see the Brewers. If you've never been to Miller Park, which it was Miller Park at the time, and it still should be, we got tickets, and I get second row tickets because Monster's like, we'll hook you up with tickets. Here you go. Second row tickets. And I'm not even kidding. I almost just cussed in the air. I stopped myself.
Oh,
not
thank
even
you.
kidding.
Would have had to put you in the shed.
Second row. And we get there, and she says, we were in Brewers gear. Like, I even wore a Brewers shirt for this because now, you know, we're in Monster seats. And she said, so how do they play? And I'm just like, oh, you're one of those girls.
You're one of those.
And I figured it out. Second row at a Brewers game that she had no idea anything, not even how to play baseball.
That sickens me. Actually, that's how Caveman got his nickname. For the women in the front row would stay off their phones and they wouldn't have to put the nets.
Well, I mean, there's a great story right there why they should have never put the nets up. And you should have had to put your phone in a bucket whenever you're walking down into the lower level.
Or just not go.
You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm just kidding. I think the nets are a good thing in the long term of things, especially if you've got like a kid or something. And you know, you could be sitting there and there is no nets, and someone hits a 113 mile an hour foul ball on a line drive, and I don't care if you ain't got a glove. Good luck, man. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to take a quick time out, and we'll be right back.
See that trip?
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
FSU softball, the College World Series Championship Series got underway last night after 2 delays.
Yes.
The first delay didn't get the first pitch until 8:10, and then I think it was like just a couple minutes into that first inning.
Bottom of the first. Second batter up, and they called him off again.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. A likelihood of thunderstorms and sprinkles tonight with a gentle breeze coming out of the southwest around 10 miles per hour and temps near 79. We will have light rain and likely thunderstorms tomorrow morning and be quite warm, 83. And likely thunderstorms and light rain in the afternoon and evening and a high 85. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Byron Beggs' 100th win for the 24 team. I'm Susie Armstrong. The story next on NASCAR Today.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in. To do hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
William Byron took advantage when his teammate Kyle Larson and Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain tangled in the final circuits to navigate the number 24 car to victory at Darlington Raceway in Sunday's NASCAR Cup Series Goodyear 400. In the process, Byron collected the 100th win for the iconic Kendrick Motorsports Chevrolet team, sporting livery from Jeff Gordon's 1998 50th anniversary All-Star race run.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, we've had some amazing throwback schemes over the years, thanks to Exalta. This one definitely takes the cake. It's in victory lane, so we finally got one that worked out our way, and just pretty amazing what all happened there to go our way, and just thankful.
I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
Everyone loves gold chains. I mean, who doesn't? Gold always works. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves features the largest selection of 14-karat gold chains, bracelets, pendants, and earrings you'll find anywhere. In fact, more than all the other stores in Bay County combined. And they're all on sale today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves. You won't find a larger selection or lower prices anywhere. Gold always works, and you can take that to the bank.
He likes to idle his Kia while eating almonds and listening to Lincoln Park in the Walgreens parking lot.
White people love trail mix.
David Hayes is part of the Afternoon Underdogs.
Oh, they love it. Love it. Eat it every day.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
They love it.
You're back. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and this is ESPN Northwest Florida. You can give us a text at 850-215-6290. And I'm David Hayes along with Kyle Wright. We've also got Drew Gorman in the building with us, and Amanda Muller is gone. But we did get a winner, though, during the break. We got a winner during the break. Griffin came and found us. So we're going to be hooking him up with a $10 gift card, which is definitely worth $20 today on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Well, I don't have no idea what it looks like. I know it was very dark when we got out, or when we got here. It looked like it was going to start raining. They put us in the boardroom, which is where we are today. And then I went outside probably about 20 minutes before the show started. I was like, maybe we could have done this outside today. We would have been soaking wet, no doubt about that. But definitely appreciative for all that Dave and Buster's is doing for having us out here. It's a lot of fun. I really cannot wait till football season, man. I got to come out here and check out a couple of games this year out at Dave and Buster's. All right, we got a couple of more Would you rathers. I like to hold on to these for Amanda because this is her favorite segment of the week. But Lamar Jackson or Mike Vick, college football?
Dude, I mean, I think that everyone's going to say Lamar because he won the Heisman, right? And Vick didn't win the Heisman.
Right.
But Michael Vick was special at Virginia Tech.
He won the ship, didn't he?
No, he lost to Florida State.
Yeah, lost in 99.
Yeah.
But
he was breaking ankles on them Seminole boys.
He was, too. No, it wasn't his fault. Their defense was terrible.
Whew.
But, man, I mean, I'm getting to see both seasons. Lamar was special, obviously, but I think Vick was just – there's no Lamar without Vick. So let me put it like that.
Very good point right there. That is a very good point. I'm trying to look up the stats to have those to kind of go along with, because I think that, that's definitely something that you need to take a look at. Obviously, Mike Vick was the first overall pick in the 2001 draft to the Atlanta Falcons. And then Lamar, it's crazy to think of this. He was the 32nd overall pick in the 2018 draft, drafted by the team that he's still with that fought for him in the Baltimore Ravens. So Mike Vick, 99. He played 12 games. He threw for 2,065 yards. This is the problem. It's not giving me the rush. And here we go. This is what I got to see. He only had 682 yards in 99. He had 617 yards rushing in 2000. But that was way before the offenses were built the way that they are now, where it's like,
back then the quarterback running was like,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah, come on. Throw the ball. You're a quarterback, man. He had 2,065 passing yards in 99. He had 1,234 yards in 2000 as a sophomore there. With Virginia Tech. So let's take a look over here at Lamar Jackson's, and the numbers are a little bit better. So 2015 is a freshman, 1840. In 2016, big jump, 3,543. And then in 2017, 3,660. And then you look at the rushing, you got 960 yards, 960 yards rushing in 2015. 2016, he had 1,571 to go along with 21 touchdowns, and then in 2017 he had 1,601 to go along with 18 touchdowns. So I think when you're looking at these numbers, now obviously people are going to remember Michael Vick and especially what he did for the league, what he did for the future of the quarterback position in the game of football. Absolutely. But if you're talking about just collegiate career, and one of the things that stands out, and I'm sure it stands out to you, Kyle, and the rest of Florida State fans, but that whopping win, and that was not expected. Louisville just dragging, what was it, 63-21 or something like that?
63-20, yeah.
63-20. And that game will forever stick out to me with what Lamar Jackson did. I got to take Lamar Jackson's career at Louisville.
I'm taking Lamar as well. I mean, he was just special, just straight up special. And I love Vic, love him. Dogs don't, but dude was just special at Louisville.
Mike Vick has made his amends for what he's done.
Still got to be
friend.
said.
Bradley Beal or Dame Lillard. Now, Kyle, give us a little backstory about what the Heat might be doing this offseason.
Well, it looks like it's one of the two. Pretty much. It's coming down to it's going to be Dame time in Miami, or we're going to eat the Beal meal and be the same exact team. So, to me, that's tripping me out. To me, I would go Dame Lillard here.
If you're looking for a superstar, Dame. If you are looking for if you're looking for an all-star, someone who's going to consistently put up points and be a consummate pro night in, night out,
Dame.
Bradley Beal.
Okay, well, it's all Dame.
So depends on what team we're going for here, but I would rather Bradley Beal.
All right, I like that. I think I'm gonna be right with. I was like, what in the world's going on? I was muted. For me, I'm going to roll with Dame Lillard here. I think Bradley Beal could be a great addition, but if it's someone who I want for my team, maybe selfishly speaking, maybe it's because the brand is just a little bit bigger with Damian Lillard, but I would rather have Dame than Bradley Beal. However, I want to see Bradley Beal. I'm glad that the Wizards are going to be seeking a trade for him because I think he deserves it. The Wizards aren't really trying to move in any type of direction that signifies, hey, we're going to win or we're trying to win. Bradley Beal seems like a player who wants to win, and honestly, who I think fits in better with the Miami Heat. If you're talking about for the Miami Heat, I think Bradley Beal, especially with his, and actually both of these guys, we're talking about two superstars essentially, more so with Dame Lillard than Bradley Beal, but I think Bradley Beal is on his way if he wants to be a superstar, but sticking around with franchises who are kind of derelict, not really going in the correct direction. And so if I'm Jimmy Butler and I'm looking for guys who I think would fit into, and obviously he's not that GM type, but if I'm going to go to Spo, if I'm going to go to Pat Riley and be like, these guys fit in our mantra of, win, baby, win. Like, we're here to play basketball and to win, and we're playing at 110%, even if we're not doing great, even if we've only got 8 points through the first 3 quarters, like Jimmy Butler did, and he's still out there, throwing up shots, but he felt like, it was his time to shine. I could make the case, or I could see where Bradley Beal would fit in better with the Miami Heat than what Dame would. But what does Miami need more?
They as a Miami fan, they need a dog to take control of the game and score at will. And Jimmy Butler showed his colors where he's not that guy. Bam Adebayo, clearly not that guy. We don't have that guy on this roster, and that's the only thing that Miami was missing. That's what every Miami fan said going into this year. Every Miami fan said it at the trade deadline, and it cost us in the finals. We don't have that guy.
Yeah. So is Dame that guy? Could Bradley Beal be that guy? Who plays the one? Because we're talking about two kind of different positions here. Dame plays the one, and Bradley Beal plays the two.
Well, I think 1s and 2s are non-existent in the NBA now. No, because you true 1s and 2s, I should say.
You're right, but you still do have your true ones.
Bradley Beal's a true 2.
He's a true 2, right? But then you got guys like Curry who have the title of a 1 who are really a 2.
That's fair.
But I would say Dame would fit the bill way better in Miami. He's a team player. I think he would adapt well with the city culture. Plus, get him out of that dump. Portland's a dump.
I would love to see Pat Riley open up the checkbook and take them both.
Now, that's also not off the table, I don't think.
I would love to see that because Miami would instantly get a facelift, obviously, and I think they both fit in well. It would be like having, you could liken C.J. McCollum to Bradley Beal in a sense, and he doesn't have to have the ball at all times. He can have the ball if he has to, but he's more of that true number 2, that true 2 guard, and let Dame do his thing, let Jimmy have his thing, and then just be there as a spot up with Tyler Hero and Duncan.
I also know that this isn't a Miami Heat conversation. I know we kind of turned it into that.
Right.
But, I think Miami should also re-sign Kevin Love. I think that's something big that should happen as well. Like the team, I think that they only made that run because of his presence.
Really?
I think so.
Because he's been there, done that, and really outside of Jimmy Butler,
Jimmy.
A lot of the team though has been to that position before because they were right there last year, just not in the NBA Finals. So it's and the Heat are kind of in that Boston Celtics territory of last year. Right, where it's like that they've got the pieces, but the formula breaks down at the biggest stage. But then again, we're talking about the Denver Nuggets, but Nikola Jokic, who was the best player in the finals in possibly the history of the game, and he's so hard to stop. How many shots? First off, the bad passes from the Heat late in the fourth quarter, not even late in the fourth quarter. Once the fourth quarter started, there was 2 passes I can remember where they threw up court and it got intercepted, and one of those was from Jimmy Butler, and I'm like, I know that you're wanting to make the magic happen, but it's like, dude, they already did it to you once. Like, let's kind of pace ourselves a little bit, because that Denver defense is something that you got to watch out for. And then the way that Nikola Jokic can muscle you in the paint, you can have 2 guys on both sides of him have a hand on the ball, and he can still just overpower them and get it in.
I think by that point, the Heat were kind of grasping at straws, and even Jimmy Butler himself was basically trying to be the hero, was pressing too hard to put himself into that situation, and was pressing and was focusing too much on, okay, I've got to be that guy. I've got to do it. No one else is going to do it. I've got to do it. And at that point, unfortunately, it was too little too late, but the Denver Nuggets also know you shut down Jimmy Butler, you shut down the Heat.
Right.
No doubt about it, man. Braves are up right now 6-5, and it is in the bottom of the sixth. We'll have an update for you again when we return for our final segment of the afternoon. It's the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's time for us to play a little basketball in the boardroom for just about a 2-minute period, and then we'll be right back. Y'all hang on with us.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Blasted Bay Point. Starting Monday, June 26th. Listen to Win Your Tee Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach. Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club. Plus, all contestants instantly win a large bucket of balls on the driving range. Listen to Win the Blasted Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. A likelihood of thunderstorms and sprinkles tonight with a gentle breeze coming out of the southwest around 10 miles per hour and temps near 79. We will have light rain and likely thunderstorms tomorrow morning and be quite warm, 83. And likely thunderstorms and light rain in the afternoon and evening and a high 85. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Want to stay healthy as you grow older? Well, open up and say, dental health can have an impact on your overall health. It's been shown that poor oral health can cause or complicate medical issues such as coronary heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. As you age, it's important to maintain good oral health through brushing, flossing, and visiting the dentist on a regular basis. Ameritas Dental is committed to helping you stay healthy through its individual dental insurance plan options, which is available to everyone, including those over the age of 65. With Ameritas, you can visit the dentist of your choice and be eligible for 100% coverage of basic benefits on day one. In most circumstances, Ameritas' plans provide competitive coverage on exams, cleanings, fillings, crowns, implants, dentures, and so much more. What are your dental needs? Call Michael Denniston, 850-271-4389 today to find out which plan fits best for you.
It's the Afternoon Underdogs. We're live and local out here at David Buster's. We have already given away our $10 power card, which is worth $20 on Wednesdays. We're going to do this each week from now on, as long as the boss lady allows that to happen. And Amanda Muller, she's the assistant general manager out here. I'm David Hayes, along with Kyle Wright and Dew Yorman, also known as Drew Gorman. Don't forget to go out and vote right now. You can go to Facebook, just type in Kyle Wright. Maybe need to type in Kyle Aaron Wright, and add him as a friend if you're not friends with them, and then you will be able to see our form, or our Google Doc form, our Google form. We've got 17 responses to this point. I would love to see, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that we're sharing this out and stuff, because much like we did our March Madness brackets and we got up to 100 plus brackets, I would love to see 250 responses on this. Now, Kyle, I got to ask you a question. Can you answer this more than once?
Yeah, so I think it's you could treat it like an all-star type situation. You can go vote every day. I would like to see 250 individual responses.
That's what I was saying. So if it's that, then I'm going to double that slightly and say I would like to see 500 responses on this thing. We just got started. It's only been up for about an hour now at this point, but make sure you share it out to your friends and families. I know there's plenty of people out there who are not sports fans but love sports movies. So again, with your Atlanta Braves right now, they took the lead. They are up 6-5 in the bottom of the sixth right now with 2 outs to go. So we're going to keep it rolling here. Don't forget tonight, here in just a little bit, last night was supposed to be the second edition of the Mosley High School Summer Passing Academy, but that got rained out. So tonight from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., we're looking for quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs. And they need to be in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade. This is going to be at the Mosley practice field. It's $20 a session. Again, it's the Mosley High School Summer Passing Academy. Go out there and get your youngins some lessons there from Coach Tommy Joe Whitten. It's only $20 at the Mosley practice field, and that's going to be commencing in about 30 minutes or so. So get out there to the Mosley practice field, $20. They also have the 20th, which will be next Tuesday. You'll have the 29th, which will be the following Tuesday, and then 3 dates in July for quarterbacks, wide receivers, and for running backs. Again, the local high school sports spotlight, which we don't have a lot of local right now, brought to you by Barbaritos. Visit Barbaritos on 23rd Street. Tell them that the Underdogs sent you. Barbaritos, food, community, and people. Now, here's one I saw from my buddy Terry Ross. Which team would you rather have? Michael Jordan, KD, and Larry Bird. We're playing a little 3-on-3 action here.
Okay, so this is Michael Jordan, KD, and Larry Bird.
Michael Jordan, KD, Larry Bird going up against LeBron, Steph Curry, and Kobe Bryant. This is so tough because I mean, you can go either which way. Here's how I see it, and this is the direction that I would go, and it might just be a little bit old school. So maybe the old school listeners would love this. Jordan and Kobe, you almost cancel them out, right? Because they're one of each other, you know, one and the same in a sense.
I agree with
I would say maybe Kobe's got a little bit more in his bag since he copied Jordan. Yeah, and I don't mean that in a negative way. But Kobe will tell you. Kobe would have told you. He modeled his game after Michael Jordan. The next one would be Larry Bird. Who do you put him on? Do you put him on LeBron, or do you let KD take care of LeBron? So that's where, you have so many different options with LeBron, Steph, and Kobe, but you still have those same options with Jordan, KD, and Bird, because you've got two great three-point shooters here, whereas on the LeBron, Steph, and Kobe, you've really only got one great three-point shooter. I'm not taking anything away from LeBron or Kobe. Both of them can knock down threes, no doubt, but I don't think that they're at the level of, especially Larry Bird. Larry Bird and Steph right there, and then KD, I don't know what his career shooting percentage is, but I would take him to knock down a three before I would LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, or you know what I mean? Right. I think he's better from the perimeter. So I'm actually going to go with team one here. But I mean, could you imagine sitting back and watching a game like this? And it's impossible because Jordan and Bird are older, and they could never be able to play this. Whereas the other, LeBron and Steph could definitely still be balling right now.
You can get close on 2K, which is what I really love about this. And you can do the blacktop thing, which is really cool. And you can sit there and just watch it and enjoy it. Obviously, this is a video game, but it is the closest thing you can get to it.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's the only way that you can kind of make believe your way into that, because otherwise you're giving them different advantages and disadvantages.
To me, it comes down to defense for me, and it's going to be my pick is going to be team one as well, because Steph, who does he guard? Because like you said, you take out Jordan and Kobe, they cancel each other out. They can basically the same person. Then you're going to put who's LeBron's going to guard Bird, and then Steph guards KD.
Or even if it's vice versa, though, Steph's going to have trouble with KD and Bird. Now, again, the original question was, would you trade Jordan, KD, Bird for LeBron, Steph, and Kobe? And especially if you're a franchise right here, of course you would, because all of these guys, Jordan, and Bird are, way past their prime. So, but to me, it's like, which team would you rather have? And so that's, I think Bird is kind of the equalizer here. A healthy Larry Bird is something that the league didn't even get to see, but about 5-6 years or so, a healthy Larry Bird with a good back. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting one right there. Again, this is the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. We were talking a little bit about Adrian Amos going to the Jets here, becoming the latest Green Bay Packer, or rather former Green Bay Packer, to join Aaron Rodgers over there in New York. They've also got Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, and their offensive lineman Billy Turner here. And this is a guy who is one of the backbones of the defense for the Packers. So I guess my question to you guys is, how much trouble are the Green Bay Packers in here for 2023?
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, losing Rodgers is really the only thing that's going to, and it's going to be, a drop, but that division's not, the Lions were right there on the cusp last year, and they did not do anything to improve their team. If anything, they took a few steps back. The Vikings are, Dalvin Cook's gone, Zadarius Smith is gone. The Vikings are taking a step back as well. Adam Thielen's gone. The Chicago Bears are the only team that really tried to improve their roster this offseason in the NFC North. So, production-wise, I think they'll take a step back, but I think that they'll have a chance, especially if Jordan Love can play decent football. I think Green Bay will have a chance in the NFC North.
Really? So do you think Vikings run it back to win the North this year? Do you think that the Lions are legit enough to take that top spot?
I think 9-8 is going to win this division. I think it will be Minnesota, but I mean, if something happens to Cousins or Jefferson, this team, I mean, it's wide open, man.
That's why I'm so excited about week 1 here, or the opening game of the season, right? Chiefs-Lions. That's going to be one of those. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all of how good Detroit is, but it is one of those ones. It's like,
you got a chance to come out and slap the champs in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like Kansas City, that's your best opportunity is early in the year with Kansas City.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough year for the Packers. Tough year, I think. And I mean, I hate it for them. They've had such a great run in the past, what has it been, over 2 decades with Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers. Do we really think Jordan Love's going to step into that role and be a future Hall of Famer so they can have back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks? Like, dude, I don't see it from him, and they're losing so many people. I think the Packers are leaning into losing Aaron Rodgers, and they're just leaning into not necessarily tanking, but valuing draft position.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to value that draft position. Again, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, and you're listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, how about Mike Leach, man? He's headed to the Texas Tech Hall of Fame. They're going to recognize Mike Leach, the winningest coach in Red Raiders history, with a spot, and not the Hall of Fame, actually, the Hall of Honor. They announced this today. Leach, who passed away December 12th from complications related to a heart condition, he'll be joined by Cliff Kingsbury, who was his quarterback, who went on to coach the Red Raiders and then went to Arizona, where he coached Kyler Murray, and then went to Bangkok for a little bit, and now he is with Lincoln Riley over there in USC. Leach went 84-43 at Tech with 10 straight bowl appearances. He also won 11 games in 2008, which one of those was an upset of the number 1 team in the land at the time, the Texas Longhorns. 2009, though, so it was about 3 weeks ago or so. We were talking about. We were talking about going out here and doing, making a video of being like a ref or a coach for video games or something. And Kyle had brought up, the situation with the shed, which was why Leach was fired by Texas Tech. So he mistreated a wide receiver in Adam James by making him stand in a dark shed because he thought he was faking concussion symptoms. Leach and Texas Tech did never, get that all under wraps, and they mounted a legal campaign to recover $2.5 million that he said, or he mounted a legal campaign to recover $2.5 million. He said that the school owed him, and the case is an ongoing as part of public records lawsuit to get the school to produce information. Leach will be inducted into the school's Hall of Honor for non-athletes, while Kingsbury will headline the school's athletic Hall of Fame class. Regardless of what you think as far as how much Leach did for the game. I mean, brought the air raid to the game. He just did so many things that kind of go unnoticed. And I think the biggest thing is, from what we heard after his passing, was just how good he was to people, especially people he didn't know. After the conversation, it felt like they knew each other for 100 years.
This is exactly what happened when he called us at the radio station.
Yep.
He gave us 45 minutes out of nowhere. He was sitting at a bar in Key West and just called the radio station and talked to us for 45 minutes.
No doubt, man. This is an interview that you can actually go back to YouTube and go to our ESPN Northwest Florida page. This is actually before my time there, but great stuff with Leanne. I think old school. No,
it was before. It was Leanne. It was Opie. And it was, I was sitting on the other side. I was in your chair.
Yeah.
Well, no, not your chair. I was in your old chair.
You have an old chair. My chair that I sit in from 11 to 1.
Yeah, so I was sitting in that chair at the time, and the story is incredible on that. He just calls And I would totally say that interview worth listening to, by the way. Go find it, because he gives an idea for like a 45-team college football playoff. It's unbelievable. But I'm sitting there. I'm in the producer chair. Phone rings. And I'm like, ESPN Panama City at the time, of course.
Yep.
And he's, hey, is this Kyle? I'm like, yeah, that's me. You know, okay. Like, I haven't really spoken much on the radio at this point. He's like, this is Mike Leach. Andy told me to call. And I was like, I didn't even know like Coach Siegel was being serious. Coach Siegel was there as well. It's just he's the whole reason this happened. But he's like, Andy told me to call. And I'm like, okay. And I put him on, and we got 45 minutes out of it. Well, like, I'm looking at these breaks. I'm like, we're not going to these breaks, by the way. Like, 5:40, we're going to have like a 13-minute break. But we're not doing these breaks. Like, this is going to happen.
I love it, man.
Unbelievable.
I remember, when we had Bobby Bowden on, because there's not many guests that we've had on, and we've had some big name guests on during our time here, but there's not many guests that you kind of like get a little nervous before you call them or whatever. And I remember Bobby Bowden, it was like one of those ones, like you hear him answer the phone and you're just like, hey, Mr. Bowden, we've got about 2 minutes here. And then, you know what I mean? That was one of the coolest ones to me, absolutely, was Bobby Bowden. And we've had a lot of great interviews. And that's one of the best parts, or one of the coolest parts about this job as well, is being able to land some of those guys. And, it's, we get a little bit of help from the press room at ESPN, but outside of that, the majority of it is just going through Twitter, going through any contacts that you possibly have, and making something happen. And we really appreciate you guys, because without the listeners, without the audience, what are we even? Yeah, exactly. We're back to podcasting and just trying to figure out what we could talk about next. But we really do appreciate you guys, and so that's why I want you to go to Kyle Wright's Facebook page right now.
I was gonna say, go vote.
Go vote for this. Show us, guys, that you're listening. You don't gotta show us, but we're doing the whole reason of us doing this. We don't care about what the #1 movie is, but we care about trying to create an engagement, because when we do that, we learn more about you, and when we learn more about you guys, y'all will learn more about us as well. Yes, we absolutely do. That's not even facetious or sarcasm at all. We absolutely do. I mean, so many relationships I've been able to build just from people coming up and picking up their prizes, you know what I mean, and just being able to talk. And I think that's one of the coolest things ever. That's going to do it for us today. You've got the Coach James Hale Show, which is going to be live tomorrow from 7 to 9 a.m. Brian Haddad will be hosting that. You're going to have Ryan Mulvey with the Inside Drive. Jay Henley should be there tomorrow. I'll be on the board. They're going to be running from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to wrap up your afternoon. I think we're going to have Jay Chapman for the second hour tomorrow on the Afternoon Underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. And then the Braves are going to be taking on the Rockies. Well, we don't got time. Y'all have a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.
The road is yours this summer in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by and check out the Bill Bird Kia SUV family that is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 3.25% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort and safety and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today at 2435 East 15th Street, or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento.